So I'm sitting here every night going, okay, I'm trying to prove the skeptical people out there, whether it's our staff, whether it's my family, whether it's our clients, whether it's other cabinet companies, you know, that, yeah, we're going to do something different than anybody else is doing. Yeah, and everybody's like, oh, we're just building cabinets. You're damn straight we're building cabinets, but we're building cabinets better than anybody else out there. We're getting crazy psycho about what we're doing. You know, our project coordinator, I'm teaching her to get crazy psycho about communicating with our customers, making sure that we are all things to all people all the time. And everybody like looks at me and goes, you're freaking absolutely crazy. We're going to be all things to all people all the time. You can't do that, Bryan. I said it yesterday in a meeting about being all things to all people all the time. And the first thing the client said, you can't do that. And I said, why the not? You know, I stay up all night. I sleep 2 to 3 hours a night thinking about this. How do I get better at it? And you know what? Once you start, once one person jumps aboard and starts being crazy cycle like me, then another person follows, then another person follows, and then another person follows. Because they don't want to fight it anymore. It's like, at first they want to fight it. They want to fight changing their habits. With every click, they want to fight it. They want to fight it. They want to fight it. And then pretty soon, once they see everybody else starting to change, they start coming aboard. Because they just give up. They're like, you know what? Bryan's going to get what he wants. And what that is I'm going to deliver that product on time, every time. When people say it can't be done, when somebody says I need that cabinet in 30 days, I'm like, it'll be there. And my staff looks at me and goes, are you crazy? They start arguing with me. 30 to 45 days, it's out the door. It's delivered to your job site outside of engineering. It's coming. I don't care how custom it gets. We're delivering it. And every day I walk off to the plan, they start to understand now. They start to look at me like I'm crazy. Bryan, that can't be done. No, okay. Yeah, I can. How many cabinets you build today? Oh, 5. That's not enough. Build 10. You know? We're trying to get better every day at what we do.
Do you think that the next step onto that evolution that everybody is looking is through the new warehouse?
Oh my gosh. You know, now it defies what everybody thinks. I mean, think about this. So it's always been an excuse. There's an excuse about, oh, we can't get it out of engineering fast enough. Okay, well, we add another engineer. Okay, well, we can't afford it. So what? We add another one. You know, we add to who we need to be able to scale this business to where we want to go. We'll figure out the money. Because as we build this thing, and as we keep building this thing, and as we keep scaling, the money is going to come. It's going to come. Okay, provide the product. Good quality product, fast on delivery, okay? Communicate like hell to all of our customers. Psycho crazy when it comes to communication. Once we figure out that ingredients, and we're close, once we figure out that ingredients, it's game over.
Yeah, this is kind of our concept. I just wanted to see the finishes and what was going on. I know maybe everyone doesn't show you this detail, but I just figured it's important for you to know what it's looking like. So it's very organic. Mm-hmm. It's very soft.
Very beautiful.
Okay. So that gives you an idea. So I'm just trying to get your opinion, what you think. Typically, that's what I do. This house is really organic and everything's very light. And, you know, we do have the windows being dark and the black frames, and I don't know what I want to see from the outside. I don't know if I want to see white from the outside if it was ever down during the day. So that's why I feel like they maybe all should be black. That would make our job really easy.
It makes them disappear.
I know.
Like white can be so in your face.
Yeah.
And actually, the white, if it's not black out, you cannot see through white as much as you can through the black. Like the black gives you more protection, but you can see through it a bit, whereas the white,
you just can't. I know.
And then it's just like that big white.
Just black. Yeah, black or gray, I was thinking, you know, because they need to disappear. These are our choices. So you tell us, can see through, can't see through. You know, like in the bedrooms, you probably want something you can't see through, obviously.
Let me see which one you picked, which are blackout. Okay, this is blackout.
So does that mean on this side, we're gonna see white when it's down?
Let me check if there's an option for black.
Because if not, then I just want to get a heavy enough that you would barely see. You might see a silhouette through or something, but if you got up against, you know, because I don't want white on the back. You know, something we always ask, because we're doing the whole design package for Dick. So something we always ask is for a budget. to know, because we could design it, well, the investors didn't want to give us a budget because they didn't want us to be, somehow wrangled in with our dreaming it. So we didn't have a budget. So we just designed it, and the investors have been great. And then Nick has to work with the budget. So here comes these designers, that are like, oh, well, we're going to put this and we're going to do this. And he's like, okay, well, I have a budget, but he's been so willing to like, can we look at this? Can we do this? Can we, I don't want to change your design. I don't want to change what it looks like, but let's collaborate on it and figure out how we can stay within budget. So he's been great. And he's sent so many people to us for cabinets too. So it's been wonderful. So once we got here, we stayed, couldn't get cabinets. So we could do, he's contractor. So he's a carpenter, contractor, builder, developer. So he was ready to go, but we couldn't get cabinets. And so I said, why don't you open a little small cabinet company? You love carpentry. It'll take the stress out of things. Because we had flipped about 7 at that point, and we were like, okay, let's just take a breather. Let's open a cabinet company. Well, it wasn't what I was thinking. When we went to our first appointment with the real estate agent, the equipment wouldn't fit in like a 14,000 square foot warehouse. And I was like, what do you mean it won't fit? And it was because he bought equipment that was from Italy, big and, whatever. So we have a great partner in our business, and we've just grown, 10x in no time. So yeah, it's fun. And so we have 4 designers. We have 2 that draw, that do our mosaic program, and then 2 that do designing. So that's wonderful. And a lead designer, Vera Lynn's our lead designer. So this is why you can see that it wasn't little shop that we were gonna build. So it became, So we have 2 CNC machines that work really there. We were gonna do 2 shifts. And we ended up, we're not doing 2 shifts right now, but we will. But since we're moving, one of the machines will go over there soon. So the designers can put it into the program. Then the engineers do all the takeoff, and then it goes here and it speaks to the machine, and then it cuts your kitchen. So we can cut, with the 2 machines, we can cut about 4 kitchens in a day. And then this machine, so that's what makes us different. We can get your cabinets out in like 30 to 45 days after engineering. We do all custom, so we can do watch yourself. We can do all custom colors. So that's our paint finish. You can feel is really, it may not be running, but anyway, this will paint as it goes through. It measures the amount of wood that's going through, and then it will paint it or stain it, whichever. And then it goes through and then dries. So you can see if you put together a kitchen, you wouldn't have room. So we don't have the room and needed more room. So we're gonna do granite countertops too. So if this is a kitchen, they'll put it together as a kitchen to make sure all the parts are there. They've already started wrapping this, so this is gonna be shipped. So usually this is full. We do about a shipment a day. So we don't like to use melamine. You usually open it and it's white inside. So we like to do something, either we do the same veneer on the inside and outside, that's our best product, or we do something that looks similar, so when you open it, it feels like a piece of furniture.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah. So we're proud of our product for sure. We just met with the window treatment gal, Debbie, to go over window treatments for Brett Hills, a project we're doing with Nick at Diamond West. It has window pockets all over the house, so we picked out the window treatments for that. And then also Debbie wanted to hear a little bit about our story, a little bit of a shop tour, so that's what we did today. If you enjoyed this content, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.